Into the Soul Stream. Lathandor's faction had been well versed in the Soul Stream, and had advanced the technology originally built by Darkfire, Dacheldor, and Prime. When they were defeated, Dacheldor confiscated any technology relating to the Soul Stream and brought it back to his faction. It mostly sat unused for years, while he, Bylon, and Prime trained and turned the other members of the Order of Nine into Illithel. It was Ellie who investigated it, intrigued by the Soul Stream's potential, and discovered something no one had realized before. When Lathandor had released an Illithel in Voldar's fortress, he had used the Soul Stream. He had discovered a way to use the Soul Stream's connection to the entire cosmos to find the hidden prisons of the Illithel. When she revealed this to the other members of the Order of Nine, it was unanimously decided to take the technology out of storage and begin work on it again. If Dacheldor could be sent to the Soul Stream, using such technology, he could locate and devour all the remaining Illithel. It would end what had seemed like an endless hunt. As they worked on the technology, spies for the Empire reported back that the faction was working on a portal to the Soul Stream. Dacheldor, who already did not trust Dacheldor, worried this may be used to destroy the Empire. With Darkfire's guidance, he began a crusade to discover Dacheldor's weakness and the truth about him, though Dacheldor evaded him at seemingly every turn. Voldar also had spies within Dacheldor's faction. Using their access to his facilities, he managed to sneak in and steal some of the equipment for himself. Though he was never able to create a portal of his own, he did construct two powerful artifacts from the tech. First, he built a time chamber. Inside it, time could be slowed down. Slowing time helped him to construct the second artifact, a powerful weapon infused with energy from the Soul Stream. It was called the Lance of Souls. In addition to being an overall powerful weapon, the Lance of Souls had the ability to imprison an enemy inside a casing that appeared like stone or wood. If the lance pierced the heart of an enemy, it would do this, freezing the enemy in time on a physical, spiritual, and mental level. It was encasing them in the energy of the Soul Stream, but to outsiders it just seemed to make them into a statue. This casing was beyond the bounds of time, acting as an aberration would act. As such, any imprisoned being would remain so as long as the Soul Stream itself still existed, even across timelines. Voldar used this weapon against his immortal enemies. With it, he could defeat previously undefeatable beings. He used it in his quest to avenge his lost faction. A new rebellion rose around Voldar, who planned to take the lance to Castle Darkfire and stick it through the heart of the head general and master there. Needing to deal with this rebellion, Dacheldor did not infiltrate and stop Dacheldor from completing his work. Instead, Dacheldor traveled to Voldar's newest fortress, where the two eventually dueled in one-on-one combat. In the end, Dacheldor stood victorious, taking the lance as his trophy. Without Voldar to lead it, the rebellion scattered into multiple smaller cells. The Empire worked to track down these cells one by one. With Lord Vorn's help, they located nearly all of them, defeating the threat and increasing the size of Vorn's legions. Meanwhile, Dacheldor and the other members of the Order of Nine completed their experiment and built a working portal into the Soul Stream. Dacheldor, Prime, and Bylon entered and found themselves in a world of worlds. Time did not move in the physical world while they were here. It appeared as if they had entered the portal and returned a moment later, but to them it was as if they had spent eons there. In the Soul Stream, they could experience the full life of anyone, the full experience of anything, from any point in any timeline. They found all of the remaining Illithel, the former brothers of Prime. Dacheldor felt as if he saw a large cage surrounding them, much like the murals he had seen before. He placed his left hand on the cage and it swung open. He stepped inside and pulled every last Illithel into his arm. When he emerged, the three could barely believe it was over. Dacheldor now had the energy from the last of Prime's brothers within his arm. All that was left to do was find worthy new Illithel to take their place. As they looked around, they realized they were in the perfect place to do so. Reaching through all history, they chose beings who had lived or died, who matched the types of beings they wanted as Illithel. They resurrected them within the Soul Stream, taught them the ways of the Illithel, and transformed them into Illithel. And then, they taught them how to become at once a living cosmos and, through a host, an individual. This last lesson would only be necessary when the cosmos was destroyed. These millions of Illithel were not brought into the Order of Nine and did not serve them. Prime, Bylon, and Dacheldor all agreed that these Illithel should be free beings, able to go anywhere in the cosmos and do whatever they pleased. Their plan had never been to make servants. It had always been to make family. They released the Illithel into the cosmos as they returned through their portal. Within Limbo, the sounds of the Soul Stream belching forth millions of god beings made a wailing like a hurricane heard across the whole realm. Dacheldor was certain Dacheldor was behind whatever had happened, and he planned to put a stop to it. Once all the Illithel were given passage to the realms of their choosing, the Order of Nine deliberated again to talk about their final goals. Dacheldor's left arm now only contained one soul, Tezencrul's, and Prime planned to make good on his promise to him. Prime would pull his energy and the energy of Uzulkree out of the cosmos, replacing it with Tezenkruel, thus making Tezenkruel and the cosmos one. There was only one problem with this plan. In order to place Tezenkruel's energy into the cosmos, Lexeldor's left arm would have to be removed. Doing so required a source of energy so great it could only be harvested from the vortex in the Prime Realm. It would also have to be funneled into the Soul Stream, where it would finally enter Lexeldor's arm and allow it to be removed. Everything would have to be done precisely in order for it to work, and the risk to both the Prime Realm and Soul Stream would be severe. There was no way the Realm Lords, deities, mage lords, or living weapons would agree to it. It would likely mean an all-out war just to pull the energy from the vortex. The Order of Nine were not concerned about the safety of the vortex or the Soul Stream. Their concern was simply the opposition they would face. This was because there was one more catch to the plan, and it was a big one. Once the arm was removed from Lexeldor, the energy of the vortex and soul stream would build up in his body and create a wave of complete devastation. It would crack the very cosmos, ushering in its destruction. Prime knew he could take the arm, pull out his energy and Uzulkree's, and merge Tezenkruel's with the cosmos before that happened. But that would basically be all the time they had. After that, the cosmos would fracture, and the Illithol would take the broken pieces, scatter away from the dying shell, and each become their own living cosmoses. The ultimate completion of the master plan. The living beings in the cosmos would be obliterated, their energy becoming part of these Illithols as they each turned into a new cosmos. Inside each new cosmos, these victims would be reborn as new beings, able to continue the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. To the Illithol, death was only transformation from one form to another. They did not see any negativity to the destruction of the cosmos. Once each new cosmos was formed, the Illithol would find host bodies in one of the other already existing cosmoses. In that body, they would live as an individual while simultaneously existing as a living cosmos elsewhere. The Nine planned to meet in the same cosmos once this happened, continuing their bond to one another. Lexeldor agreed to have the arm removed. He fully embraced his destiny as the destroyer of the cosmos. The time was now.